Hi there, and thanks for joining us. I'm Wealthy Jenner. Just days after his first birthday, Thomas Brazil began to experience severe trouble breathing. After being rushed to the emergency room at a hospital in Visalia, doctors recommended he be transferred to Community Regional Medical Center's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. It was there, under specialized care, that doctors figured out what was ailing Thomas and saved his life. Thomas may look like a normal 1.5-year-old now, but just a few months ago, his parents had the scare of a lifetime after what they thought were just side effects of a previous infection.
So he was retracting in his chest and just having a really hard time. So we went ahead and drove him to our local emergency room here. Once they realized how badly he was struggling, they took him straight back. A few hours went by, he was still struggling, and he basically couldn't get enough oxygen into his blood with what they could provide him. It was at that point that they kind of determined, okay, we can't help him here. We're going to have to transfer somewhere else.
He was airlifted to the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit at Community Regional Medical Center.
So when we got transferred there, I mean, we were kind of in a place where we were just desperate for help because our son was literally, diminishing in front of our eyes. He ended up having a few pretty severe episodes where his saturation level started dropping. He couldn't get enough oxygen, and his heart rate dropped. And so I think it happened like 3 or 4 times, and we were told those 3 or 4 times, you need to come in. Things aren't looking good.
Thomas's doctors determined he had bacterial and fungal pneumonia caused by aspergillus, a fungus that usually affects the respiratory system.
He had acute respiratory failure. He was on mechanical ventilation, was intubated during that time period, and he was continually declining despite all of the efforts from the pediatric intensive care unit.
Not knowing Thomas's fate, his parents were told to take it an hour at a time.
Literally within about 48 hours, he turned around very, very quickly.
So that was kind of a reality check for us because that's when I think we first realized, like, oh my gosh, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. Then we got to a place where we were told, okay, we can take it a day at a time now. And then, he finally got stabilized and extubated, and we were on the road to recovery.
And it was a long road to recovery, as Thomas spent almost a month at Community Regional, where he had to get antifungal treatments and weekly blood draws, along with suffering the long-lasting effects to his body.
He does have some lung damage as a result of his lung infections. So he does do a airway clearance vest therapy twice a day. So it's like the little shaky vest, the thunder vest we call it. So he does that twice a day with inhaled meds and to just kind of help prevent infection from settling back in.
The Thunder Vest helps loosen any mucus that might be in Thomas's lungs and is a welcome treatment in the Brazil home, as it means darker days are hopefully behind them.
We didn't know about the PICU until we had to go. I just think people in the Valley should know that they are excellent, that they are top-notch care in the Valley. I mean, we've seen doctors all over the place, and I'm confident in the care he's receiving in Fresno with CRMC.
Dr. Mua says decisions on how to provide the best care are best made as a group effort, meaning more than one specialist will often see the patients together. This multidisciplinary approach is what helped save Thomas's life.
When physicians talk, things usually get done in a much more concerted way. And so that's one thing that a lot of the families have been very appreciative of because we do talk and we communicate with their physicians as well as the other specialists.
Specialists from Community Regional are still researching exactly how Thomas contracted aspergillus, and he continues to see Dr. Mua to make sure his lungs are staying healthy.
No, he is a high energy little boy who is amazing, and I'll tell you that it's been an honor and pleasure taking care of Thomas and also just meeting his family.
And although Thomas still has to meet routinely for checkups, he's overall a healthy and happy boy.
I mean, it's kind of surreal looking back and remembering how sick he was. Like I'll look back at pictures and it's just shocking. It doesn't even look like the same little boy. But the doctors and the pulmonologists and the respiratory therapists and nurses worked tirelessly to you know, help him, and you know, he's here today, so that's awesome.